Hey, hi everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm here live. This is Live with Maria. It's not a social media, it's Live with Maria. So I'm just gonna wait here, just relaxing. How's everyone doing? Well, my day today was very, very interesting. Like I was saying in my other video, I made a video. I made a video this afternoon. I don't know at about what time, but I think it was at around maybe 2 o'clock or something like that about um, another YouTuber. She didn't like my comment, and so we were going back and forth about it, and we were talking about, well, we were going back and forth because she thought, or she said that I was twisting her words around. The fact of the matter is that I didn't agree on what she was putting up on her YouTube. But again, that's her YouTube. She can put up whatever she wants, but I don't necessarily have to agree with it. So, point of the matter is that I didn't agree with it, and that I believe that what she was, her facts on the video that showed Junior, drinking with his friends, and then the video was captioned, about him staying late at night. And not necessarily, it wasn't really directed to him. It was just facts that, like, let's say, drinking is illegal for minors, and this is just an example of what it said. And then it also said that staying up late at night increases, or decreases making good decisions. And what else? There was quite of other stuff. The fact of the matter is that it said that, Lysandro, this was directed at him in the beginning, that it said Lysandro may have been a good kid, but he made bad choices. In which I felt that that statement was a very strong statement, because Lysandro was just a 15-year-old boy. And sometimes, when we're 15, we want to act like as if though we know it all. I know that when I was 15 years old, I used to do a lot of stuff that were not very pleasing to my mom. And I know I gave my mom a very, very hard time when I was 15 years old. So, and Junior was not doing anything that another 15-year-old is not doing. And when you're 15, like I told one commentator that, that she's now following me, uh, we were talking back and forth, and I was saying that, that he was at a very tender age. And when you're 15, you don't necessarily make choices. You really are into, like, you want to fit in, you want to be in a certain clique, you want to, be with the popular kids, and you're not really necessarily making life choices. And so when we speak about choices, we're really speaking upon older teenagers or adults. When you're 15, you really are, your life is changing, you really are trying to fit in, and you really don't know how to. So at that age, it's, your increase of trying to be popular, or, wanting to impress, is more like that. When we were that age, I remember a lot of my friends that were peer pressured into, if you're pressured because you look a certain way. And so that also can happen, that you want to change the group of friends that you're with so that you can become part of a certain clique. And so I just felt that the statements that were made on that particular video, like all kids now they are into the uka scene and they're into, they go to a party and then, they are dancing and they want to do grown up things, is what I'm trying to say. And we all know that drinking is illegal. I mean, I am not saying, nor am I trying to say in any kind of way that that is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay when you are, 15 and you're drinking. No, it's not okay. It's not okay that, that you're smoking hookah, Um, the fact of the matter is I even have cousins who smoke hookah, And so when you're 15, you really don't you're not making any kind of choices other than to wanting to be or fitting in a certain kind of clique, is what I'm trying to say. So, she was trying to make, like Lissandro had it, if he had not made the choice of that night of him, you know, staying up late at night, going out and meeting his friends, that, maybe perhaps that it would have been a different thing. This is my take on that, and I'm not saying that she's wrong or other people are wrong. And like I said, everyone has a different opinion about a junior, and I'm not one to say no about it. Like I'm the one. I perfectly agree on people who have different opinions, and they have a right to make an opinion. They have a right to to state their opinion. But what there is to say that if Junior would have come out that day in the afternoon, what makes us think, like, look at Iseed Hoke. I'm hope that I'm saying his name right, Iseed Hoke. They attacked him in the middle of the afternoon, and this was not a school day, okay? And this happened, days before Junior got killed by the gang members. Now, what is there to say that, okay, let's say if this scenario had happened and he went and did the same thing, but only in the afternoon? Um, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, maybe it would have, if it would have been different. Do we think that possibly, let's say if they didn't catch him that night, that maybe they would have not catched him the next day? He was a target, and either way, most likely he would have been he would have been killed another day. We don't know that. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, based on what, I've heard of other comments in that particular page, is that, oh, if he wouldn't have not come out that night, that wouldn't have happened. Well, what is there to say that it wouldn't have happened the next day? You know that's what I'm trying to say. That do we think that possibly maybe that wouldn't have happened the next day? Well, we don't know that, okay? Because look at Iseed, and he was stabbed like several times and even lost a kidney. And thank God that cute kid is alive to say his story. So when they do their things, when gang members are going to do anything, I don't really believe that whether it's day or night, they're going to stop doing it. Okay? So, but to say that I don't think that I don't think Junior made a choice to be killed that night. I don't think that Junior had a choice in somebody chasing after him. And those that were chasing after him were grown adults. I mean, we're talking about 5 adults here against 1 child. Okay? And he didn't make that choice. The only choice that he made, and which I don't think that he was even thinking, like he wasn't thinking, like, I don't know, he's a 15-year-old. They don't go around having fear of the night. They just want to hang out. They're not thinking, well, somebody's going to kill me or somebody's going to do something to me, or, they're not thinking of the dangers out on the street. And even though he was warned several times by his mom not to hang out at Adam's place because that is an area where, gang members frequently hang out, and a lot of problems occur. A lot of not good things happen in that area. And so he was warned many times, even by his mother and by his sister, don't hang out with these kids because they're not good kids. Unfortunately, Junior didn't also have the choice that, that I know that, that he wanted friends, but he picked the wrong friends, and he didn't really believe that those friends were going to betray him. So when we're talking about choices, I don't think a 15-year-old is really making choices of anything. They're just thinking of being a 15-year-old and living their life. And his mother took his word for it. Look, mom, I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just hanging out with my friends. I'm just, listening to radio. I'm just listening, hanging out with my friends. I don't think Junior had any kind of idea that that was going to occur to him that evening. And so to just jump into that and say, well, this is why this happened. First of all, the things that are mentioned, yes, is for another topic, but not for the topic of the day that he was murdered. Because he wasn't murdered because he was drinking, and he wasn't definitely murdered because he was hanging around with friends. He was hanging around with friends, but not not in a way that he thought that it would jeopardize or kill him. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, those things are not because those things that were stated in her page had nothing to do or even related to his murder. Okay? So, yeah. So I was blocked because I didn't agree with what she was saying. And I felt like, wow, like, okay, if I don't agree with you, then I'm going to be blocked from your page, even though I think that the content was a very good content. But I just wanted to engage into a conversation where I thought we can be adults about it and not her. I felt like as though she was angered by my comment and other comments that were made because she put down my comment and then she didn't want me to respond to her comment, in which she thought that I was twisting her words around, in which I didn't even mention her name. And I'm still not going to mention her name because I think that, that's bad. But I don't care if if, let's say, if I lose subscribers, I don't have enough subscribers anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. But I hold to what I said, and I'm not going to back down to what I say. Yes, I don't think that Junior uh, was going to sit down and say, well, let me make the choice of not. No, because he wasn't thinking that. He was thinking, I want to hang out with my friends. And even though that particular friend said to him, don't come out because it's dangerous and it's late, he didn't listen. So regardless, he wasn't going to listen, not even to his mom, and he wasn't going to listen to Genesis, and he wasn't going to listen to anyone because he wanted to hang out that night. Now I don't know because I don't live with Lysandra, but like I said before, I think that Junior was never really reinforced discipline. Like they had a relationship of trustworthiness. Like the mother and son, I guess she trusted his word. Now we all know that 15-year-olds do whatever they want because they feel like they are big and I'll be okay. They're not thinking that anything is going to happen. As us adults who are more detailed in thinking this is not the right, this is not the right kind of friends, or this is not the right kind of thing that you should be doing at this time. So in truth, yes, he I feel that Junior wanted to come out that night and that nothing was going to stop him. But I also think that by stating that he had bad choices had nothing related to that evening. Okay? I feel that, and I strongly feel that, you know, his choices, like she said, are not related to any of anything of his murder. He wasn't killed because of the choices that he made. He was killed because he was chased down by five men, and it was because of mistaken identity, according to what was said. Okay, it wasn't by choice. Nothing that happened to Lissandro that night was by choice. And so I feel like whether he hung out with good friends or bad friends, I think that perhaps maybe they were going to chase him down the next day. Okay? And I don't think that Junior realized that. I don't think that Junior was really aware of his surroundings. You know, like Issei Hoki, he was also attacked and stabbed like 10 times. Okay? So I know that I'm repeating myself, but if we're talking about Junior, then we should also state that because of the bad choices of Issei, and yet he was attacked. So, if we're going to talk about one, well, let's talk about the other two. And let's talk about the others that also were 15 years old. Well, this is what I believe. And I don't necessarily, agree. I don't have to agree with what she said. But I also feel like her blocking me was like, okay, so you can't comment and have an opinion of your own, but I have to agree with what you're saying. It almost feels like as though if I don't agree with her opinion, then I'm going to be blocked off. And that shouldn't be, because everyone has a different way of looking at things. Everyone has a different opinion of how they absorb information. I can't change the way I think. But if you are coming into my page and you have a strong opinion about something, I'm definitely not going to block you because you have that opinion, unless it's offensive to my viewers and it's offensive to me. Otherwise, why should I block you? Did it really hit you that badly that you blocked me? Now, I don't feel bad because you blocked me. It is your page, and you can do whatever you want on your page. I am no one to tell you or dictate how you should run your page. But you also cannot dictate on how I feel. If I feel a certain way and you're telling me, or you are saying to me that I'm twisting your words around when I didn't even mention you in the comments, then that's unfair. And you have to really, like say to yourself, well, maybe I shouldn't be on this person's page, because if I go against her opinion or against her content, then I will be blocked. And that's how I felt. Like, I don't know about other people, but that's how I felt. So anyway, but it would be good to, excuse me, it would be good to know how other people feel. Like I always invite people to comment on my page, but just because you comment and you feel strongly about one thing, I cannot. It's unfair to block a person. It's, to me, it's just unfair to block a person. But yet again, like I said, it is her page and she can do whatever she wants. And I'm not against her. I don't hold anything against her because of it. But I stand firm in what I say. And just because he was hanging around these particular friends that were not good friends, and I do agree with you on that, but I don't think that Junior was aware that people, those kinds of friends that he had were going to betray him. I don't think that, like I don't think Junior was going around saying, oh, well, they're gonna betray me and this. Junior was a young kid and he was living his life like any other 15-year-old. He wasn't doing anything out of this, out of the world, or, he wasn't doing anything, nothing that me, as let's say when I was 15, I I thought that I ran the world. Like, when you're 15, you think that, oh, I can do whatever I want. Look, mom, this, and they always try to convince you, that nothing is happening. I'm going to be okay, like that. And you can't tie a kid to a chair. You can't prevent your child from going out. You, it's like she also didn't think that, that her child was going to be murdered that night. So to just point fingers and say, well, oh, do I feel like there are holes, and there are, the story, has changed from the night where Lysandra was killed? Absolutely yes. And I agree with her on that. I totally agree with her on that. But to say, that, oh, that the to say that, Lysandra knew of anything, that I don't think. I really don't. And she did say several times that, that her son was changing friends, and that, and that he was a good boy, that he was an innocent boy, that he didn't do anything. Well, we don't know that. And that is true. That is very true. We don't know that. But I certainly believe that this child was not a bad kid. He was a kid that wanted to, look like a kid that was actually very, very friendly. Okay. And so, yeah, we all go through that change when we're 15. And it's a very, very vulnerable and very delicate age. We all want to fit in. We all want to hang out with the coolest or the most popular kids. That's nothing new. I wanted to hang out with the most popular kids, but I was always a nerd. So I never fit into one category of clique. But it looked like Junior just wanted to have a good time. He didn't look like a kid that really had anything bad or any malicious thought no, I don't think that. But, hey, like I said, I'm really not experienced at this, and it's a shame that people are making assumptions because, like I said before in my video, Lysandra is going through a hard period in her life right now. She lost a child. She's going to therapy so that she can sleep. She's having a hard time sleeping, and she's going through a lot. This is a very overwhelming experience. I don't know how she's making it, actually. I really don't. But hopefully we can find the answers tonight with Mary Murphy, who's going to give a special on Lysandro, and they're going to be having, like showings and clippings of different angles and surveillance cameras that they have, that they are going to show in a couple of days or weeks. And so, yeah, like I'm really hoping that really this will be justice not only for Junior, but also for her, you know? Yeah, we're always going to try to study what really happened that night, and so we're always going to try to think, oh well, could maybe the family have done something to this kid? uh what really happened? Was his mother really aware of other things that maybe that night she didn't capture? That could have happened too. Like, I don't know what to say anymore, but there's been a lot of talk that she has changed her story, about the sex tape, that she didn't know about the sex tape, but then really she knew about the sex tape. There are a lot of things that are being said and circulating, and social media. And I would like to think that even till this day, I would like to keep that image of Lysandro as an innocent boy who didn't know what was going on, you know? Unfortunately, this happened to him, but what is there to say that it wouldn't have happened to him another day? So we are just going by because of that evening when he went out. But what if they would have done exactly what they did to Issei Hoki, to Junior? And what is there to say that maybe he wouldn't have been killed the next day? We don't know that. We're just assuming that because of that evening. So anyway, I would like to know your opinion because I'm not really, I'm really trying to, like trying to make things, how would I say? Like I'm trying to really uh make sense of everything that has happened, and hopefully, you know, by this I'm talking right now, but hopefully somebody will come on and have their own opinion on what they think, and what is their opinion about what happened to Junior. As we all know, the 14th suspect has been captured, and he pleaded not guilty. His name is Frederick Ten. And, that's another thing, too, that Junior that night, he was chased by foot with this young man chasing after him, this 20-year-old man chasing after this 15-year-old kid. And they show a different angle of how that occurred. I can't imagine the fear of that kid. I can't imagine the fear in his face of what happened, and how everything just just happened so so terribly, a nightmare. It was just something so horrible to look at. I can't even imagine why five or more adults would chase even a 15-year-old kid. It's unboggling to me that, wow, like, okay, what could have Junior done so big that five men had to chase him down and brutally murder him? And that wasn't a choice that he made that night. His only thing was, the only mistake that Junior made that night was not listening. And maybe if he'd had listened and he had stayed home, that wouldn't have happened to him. But then again, I was thinking, when I was here alone, it could have happened to him the next day. We don't know that. So, when gangs are out to do their shit, they're gonna do it no matter what, whether it's nighttime or daytime. What else do I have to say? Like I said, on the 25th of October, there will be a walk from the courthouse to 183rd, where Junior was murdered. Hopefully people of the Bronx will participate in that walk, and that's for justice for Junior. I'm very inexperienced in that, and I don't want anybody to feel bad about it. And to tell you the truth, I respect my YouTubers, and I respect the people that I subscribe to, because they have been longer here than I have. But like I said, like, everyone has a different opinion about what they think about what happened to Lysandra. Everybody has a story, and everybody has a story that they have in their mind of what could have possibly happened. And so we all want to solve this particular crime, because it happened to a 15-year-old, and it was so that video that night went viral, and so that's why we're so wanting to have justice for Junior so badly because we want to really know what happened to Junior that evening, and it would clear up a lot of questions that many of people have um, regarding that night. And it's not really. I still feel that it's not really has to do anything with choice. It's just that you know Junior was an innocent child who just wanted to hang out, and it was summer, and he did nothing any different than any other 15-year-old kid would do. Hopefully, like um, another thing that really bothers me is that I don't really understand why these the ones who stabbed a junior brutally are pleading not guilty when we can clearly see in the videos that he is being macheted to death by these men, grown ass men. I really don't understand why they're pleading not guilty. Um, and another thing too, I find it very strange that Issei Hoki's uh, incident, or his case has not been even mentioned. Like, has anyone been caught on his stabbing? Because he could have been killed, and their goal was really to kill Issei. So even days before Junior was killed, he was fatally stabbed also as well, to the point where he lost his kidney. Um, that's another thing too. I'm just wondering, and all of and I just want everybody to think that Issei, when he got stabbed by young kids like his age. And then the difference between that and Junior is that Junior got macheted um, by adults. And I keep saying that there's a big, huge difference. A tremendous amount of difference compared to what happened to Issei. Not that Issei's case is less important than Junior's, but I'm wondering, why hasn't anyone been charged with the stabbing of Issei? Because just as Junior was stabbed, I think that also Issei deserves justice for what happened to him. And it's not fair, because not one case is not more important than the other. And Issei is also a young kid, a 14-year-old kid who could have been dead, and he survived it. Thank God. I don't think that Issei is living there in the Bronx anymore. I hope that this message relates to him. That I hope that his life will become a better one, and that he won't get into any more problems, because I hope that this is a lesson for him. Unfortunately, Junior won't be able to say the same. And so that's what I've been trying to say, is that it's more of a lesson than of a choice. Because though the children of today, don't make choices because they're busy, trying to be who they want to be, they have to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, Junior wasn't able to tell his story, but I hope that Issei tells his story and learns from it, and learns that if you do right and you hang around with people who are not involved in things that are illegal or bad, or like in gangs, you will see your life change into a more positive way. But if you hang around with people who are always constantly, in negative things, and always wanting you to hang around with them being so negative, those things where they they come to you because anything that's anything that's negative, it will become negative to you as well, which is called energy. So I hope that Issei learns from this experience, and that it will never happen to him again, and that to think before making friends with anyone, because sometimes we want to be in a crowd so badly that we don't realize that very same people that we want to hang out with are really not the people that we should be hanging around with. Okay. Now I'm gonna still be here online, and I'm still gonna be talking. Like today, it's a very beautiful day, but it's also like I've been thinking a lot today. So I have an infection in my eye. I don't know what to say to you guys, but I've been having this infection like for the longest time. And so, yeah, like I hope that people start watching Mary Murphy. I'm sorry that I took this time because I didn't realize that Mary Murphy's show was going to be on today. Somebody was asking, do we here in Las Vegas see the same people of Pix 11? Now, I'm not sure. I don't even know how to answer to that. But I believe, this is what I believe, maybe possibly not. Since I've never seen Las Vegas having any kind of news of other states, only but theirs, so I really don't know. But she did say that they're gonna give like some kind of update on it, like like if you go to Pix 11, you'll see some kind of some kind of um, update or some kind of clips of what she is will be talking about tonight. So make sure to watch that. The Mary Murphy. I don't have a TV, so make sure that you watch it, okay? Because it should be very very interesting, and what they are going to bring to the table, and we will be seeing like new footage of it, like different angles, and we also are probably are going to see what happened in La Bodega hours before he came into La Bodega. So hopefully that will be something that will be quite interesting to see. Like I said today, I have an infection in my eye. I don't know what the hell happened to my eye today, but I have a very, very bad infection. So, like, let me see. Besides talking about Lissandra, let's get off of that topic for now. I want to get into another topic. Let's see. What topic can we possibly talk about? Let me see if I can find something that I want to talk about today. Let me see. Yeah, I could talk about something that is happening to me personally. So, I'm sitting here, right, this afternoon, okay, not so long after, and I'm hearing some damn banging, like banging. And my dog is like, woof, 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 like banging, banging, and banging. So what's happening? Like what is wrong? So I'm hearing outside that, like there's a lot of commotion and going on. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, it so happens that somebody downstairs probably, because I heard an ambulance, got probably injured, and they were trying to open the door, and I guess that they couldn't open the door, and they like they were trying to see if that person was okay. Well, I don't think that person was okay. I think that the person got really hurt and injured, and so I do possibly can think that it could have been my friend, but I'm not sure because it sounded so close to where I'm at. And so I think that they took that person at the ambulance, or possibly they opened the door and they found something that, that was not good. So that happened to me today. And I'm quite, I'm not in a happy place right now. I'm really not. I'm not in a happy place because a lot of the things that are happening, they're happening to me like personally. And so I really don't want to speak on it too much, but I'm not really happy about some of the things that have been happening to me personally. And I find that sometimes when you surround yourself with certain people, like not my friends that I hang out with, I'm not talking about that. The people that I hang out with, like they on, like in the weekends, they're good people. Like they really are good people. But lately, like I've been, speaking um, on not to anyone, but speaking personally to myself. Like I always have like self talks to myself, and sometimes we want to be, you know, someone different is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes we want to impress, and it comes out that, that you're not really making a good impression. And so what it is that, sometimes those impressions that we want to make so badly can possibly more hurt you than flatter you or make you look like in a good way. And so what my thing is that always stay true to yourself, because sometimes it's not worth trying to flatter that other person or trying to make a good impression on that other person, because no matter what, if you make you before you even walk inside that door, you already have made an impression. Sometimes people will have an idea about you, okay? And something that's why they say first impressions count, and it's true. The minute that you walk in a room, I feel that that is your impression. And so that's the energy that you give off, that is exactly what people are going to take with them and take it in. So so whatever you do afterwards with that impression is not valid, because you've already made your impression the moment that you walked in that room. You can either wow a person or like not make a difference at all. And so, like I don't want that. I want to be true to myself. Like I want to be so true to myself that I want people to like me for who I am, not that I have to make this whole impression and be the somebody that is not really me. So, like I want to steer away from that. I want to be more real with me, more than that other person. Because sometimes it's not even worth it. Sometimes you want to make that great impression and it's not worth it. So, like don't, just be you. And it's better to be you than trying to make an impression and just failing at it. That's all. So what else? Like, I don't know. I don't have many people here, but let's see if someone comes in and they're able to talk to me about anything. So let's see what else. I'm going to be decorating my home pretty soon. If you're interested, maybe somebody could give me an idea, because I have this beautiful plant right. I have my beautiful plant right there. Look at my plant. And it's still up there, people. It's still up there. It's like it's still up there. I want to put it somewhere where I was going to put it and replace it with that TV that's there. So I think it would look really nice. I have to take those both TVs, like that middle TV right there. You see that middle TV right there? That middle TV is going to go in my room, but that black TV, I'm going to take it out of there, and I'm going to put that beautiful plant that I have right there. I'm going to put it right over there, and it's going to look really nice. And so I'm thinking about having new couches and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that that's what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, I'm just like here, just thinking to myself, like, what can I do? What colors should I put in my room? And what colors should I put here in my living room? And I think it would be really awesome, like a beige color, like something like earth tone colors.
would look really nice in this apartment. And by the way, my apartment is really big. Like you can really actually see my apartment is really big. It's really spacious. I really love my apartment. Like this apartment is really, really big and nice. And I love the wooden floors. I love my carpet, which I need to clean. But it's really not that bad, I tell you. I used to live in a smaller room. Oh my God, my room was so small, like a one room, and me and Kobe, we were in that room, and it was like oh so horrible. Oh my God, but anyway, and then I was homeless, like oh my God, like I don't know, 3 months or more. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, when am I gonna get my own apartment? I waited 3 years for these apartments. 3 years. Couldn't believe it, man. 3 years. And I kept going back and back, to the housing assistance. It took me 3 years to get this apartment. I couldn't believe it when I got this apartment. It was on June 4th of 2015 when I had my operation. I had my breast operation. Yeah, I had a lumpectomy done. I know I'm saying my whole life, but anyway, who cares? Yeah, I had a lumpectomy. And yeah, I was still living in a one bedroom, just like not an apartment, but a one bedroom. And I had nobody to take care of me. I was taking care of myself. My dog was right near me, and all the while he was smelling me and trying to see if I was okay. Yeah, man, I really suffered a lot. With that, I was struggling, but I made it through. And every time I look back and I think about it, I say to myself, "Oh my God, did I really go through that?" Like I was really scared. I thought that like I thought thank goodness that the cancer that I had was not really like a stage 4 cancer, but if I had, left it like if I had left it alone and not taken care of it, that's why this is one subject that I would like to talk about, like women who fear of not going to the doctor to go and check their breast, or like let's say anything regarding their reproduction, like their like let's say like your insides. As a woman, you should really take care of yourself, because that's really scary. Like I went through a period where I was in total denial, and then when I went to my doctor for my breast, he told me, he said, well, if you let it and not take care of it, because right now, you can possibly survive. And so, yeah, like scary. And I remember, like on June 15th, that was my operation. No, yeah, when was it? Yeah, June 15th of 2015. Okay. And that was like, oh my God, that was so scary. It was so scary. I went through, like, thank goodness I really wasn't alone, but I didn't have family with me at all. And I was really scared. And even way before that, because I didn't have my operation, I had like another thing that was going on with me, and they thought that I had leukemia. And so they did a bone marrow on me, and I was like, oh my God, like I hope I don't, I'm hoping to God that I don't have leukemia. But they were even scared. So, but yeah, they did a bone marrow on me, and oh, I was like, oh my goodness. And so then just everything just fell through. It's like when I went to have my operation, he told me, he said, you have to take care of yourself, and like check yourself every time, because it could come out on the other breast. So I said to myself, well, yeah, I have to do my appointment this year. So yeah, like for women who have, or who are like hereditary, who have a history of a family history of cancer in their family, should really go and check themselves, because it's so important to check yourself, and to really be on top of that. Even today, as I talk about it, I'm really scared because cancer is the one thing that I don't want even on my worst enemy. It's like the worst thing that anyone can experience is that, because you know the fear of just knowing that you can have it, and knowing that possibly you could have avoided and probably could have taken care of it. And it all depends too on where you have it. Like some people, unfortunately, I have a friend whose cousin died of it. I also have I also had a cousin who died of bone cancer. And so that, and I also have family who have lupus and stuff like that. And so, those things are so important. Like you should always take care of yourself and make aware that it's very, very important to have daily, like yearly checkups so that you can be on top of that. Yeah, man, it's like I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But anyway, like what else can we talk about? What else? Oh, I'm going to be having my show Live with Maria, because I did put Live with Maria here. I'm just trying to make like, conversation. I had Live with Maria, and it's on my Facebook page. And it's a show that I've only had that show like it's going to be a year. Yeah, I think it's 6 months that I've had it. Okay, so Live with Maria. I mean, I think I'm gonna have a different account, or I'm gonna leave this very same account. I'm really not that picky or that selective. So I'm just gonna be having it like these talks. I'm just gonna be having it like every other Tuesday, or every Tuesday, like that. Because I just feel like like YouTube is so much easier. Like I can talk to myself, and like it doesn't matter because hey, it's like it's okay if you talk to yourself. This is like freaking therapy, man. Like if you're talking to yourself, it doesn't really matter because hey, either way, nobody's criticizing you, nobody's saying shit to you. You could say whatever, and nobody's gonna say nothing. So yeah, I just find that YouTube is so much way easier than Facebook. Like Facebook, they always have something. They always have a problem. I mean, I love Facebook. Don't get me wrong, because my pages are on there, and I love people when they follow me or give an opinion about my show, or they give opinion about my YouTube channel. I love that. I love interacting with people, and I love interacting with, especially with my viewers. Like, I already have like 10 subscribers, dudes. I have 10 subscribers. I am so happy. Like, yay. Like, oh man, I have 10. I can't believe it. Like 10 subscribers. Oh my God. I am even happy when Moipa social media like gets like, okay, like for example, like 88 viewers. I'm like, oh man, 88 viewers, man. That's so cool. They viewed at least they viewed my content. At least, even if it was just for 1 minute, I don't care, but at least they viewed it. And that's what's important. Like, you have to be so appreciative and so humble. Like if you don't have those things like all the time, like there's people who have their web pages and they don't even thank their viewers. They don't even appreciate, that because your page is doing so good is because of your viewers. If it wasn't for your viewers, your page would not be where it's at today. And it's really about you people, like I really appreciate like every second of the day. I appreciate what I have because I didn't have it before. Like all of this that I'm doing right now is like really, really new to me. Like I can think back of like 3 years ago, I was out on the street. And I never thought that I would be doing anything like YouTubing and, like on Facebook and, having a live show like Live with Maria. I never thought that. I never thought that I would have that, like, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when, you're at your worst moments and your darkest moments, there's always a light. And your situation is never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. Like tomorrow we can wake up and have something new in our life, or we not even may not even be around tomorrow. But it's always like there is a tomorrow. Like if you have gone through the day and it's already nighttime, well, you just made it. You made it through one more day, and be thankful for that. Because tomorrow we may not be around. We just have to be so humble and so thankful for what we have. And I'm so blessed Even the little things that I have, I am very, very blessed to have them. I didn't have them 3 years ago. Like, dang, like my dog, like I didn't have Bentley. I only have I'm have Bentley like for only two. Look at this is my Bentley right there. This is my Bentley right there. And so Bentley, he's my little dog that I rescued out on the street, man. He's like the most cutest little thing. Like, look, Bentley, say hi to the audience. Say hi, Bentley. Look, he's all messy and stuff. Like he's gonna take a shower pretty soon because, mommy, you need like, oh, mommy, you need to take me a shower. Like, look at me, mom. Like, what the hell, mom? Yeah. Like, look at me, mom. I'm the best doggy living my best life, mom. I'm my doggy dog world. This is my world, mommy. This is my world. I'm the most cutest doggy. Look at me. Yeah, he loves belly rubs. He loves that. And then I have my little grouchy doggy here, and his name is Kobe. Look at Kobe. He needs a bath too. Like my doggies need a bath. They look so poorly groomed. But believe me, I take good care of my dogs. They are very much loved. My dogs are very much loved. And look, he's gonna go over there, and he's looking around. Okay, like what you looking at? Look what are you doing, mommy? Why are you recording me? I hate when you record me, mom. I don't like that. Yeah, so yeah, like my dogs are my life. And even though I don't have anyone, I'm available. I'm available, man. Like I am available. Hey, hi, my name is Maria. I'm available, I'm single. But yeah, like yeah, man. I don't want anyone who's going to give me a hard time. Like, I need somebody, I need a king. I need a real king. Like I need a king who's going to really take care of me, like if I'm sick like like that and I'm really sick, he's going to take care of me like, Maria, are you feeling okay? You want some soup, babe? Like that kind of thing. Like I don't need anybody to give me any money really because I work for myself. I'm a woman who's very independent and I love my independence. But yeah, man, like really like yeah, one day I want a king in my life. And I really do want a king in my life. I don't think that I want to stay forever single. Like yeah, man, who wants to stay single? I mean, not that I really need a man in my life because I really don't need a man in my life. But like if the right one came along, like yeah, man, why not? I'm not dating anyone, so I'm not dating anyone. Like why not? I feel like I have a lot to offer. And I'm a good woman. The last guy that I had, like I told you before, I had him, and he was a very not had him, but we were together like for 16 years, and not a good relationship at all. But it wasn't all bad. You know what I mean? It wasn't all bad for the 16 years that we spent together. But yeah, if I find someone, I want a 50-50 relationship to tell you the truth. But I don't want to lose my freedom. Like if I have somebody, I want that somebody to understand that, I love my freedom. Like if I met you, I like somebody that likes to go out, likes to have fun. And, I don't expect like every Saturdays and Sundays to go out, like in a nightclub and stuff like that. But I like to go and eat, once in a while. I like to go to movies or even take a walk in the park. You know what I mean? I love to travel. I love to travel. This one thing I do love is I love to travel. I love to meet people. I love to, like I love to mingle with people. Um, I just love doing things sometimes on my own. Like I don't want to have somebody like I have to be with that person like 24/7. Like I'm not the kind of woman that I want to be with that person 24/7. Like I'm not the kind of person that I'm not the kind of woman that like says like you have to be with me, why aren't we going anywhere, or why aren't you taking me out and stuff. I'm not like that. Like if I was single for this long, you know what I mean? And like I think that we can both be together and do things together, things that we like together. But if we are together and you like to do other things, or like, let's say, I don't have a problem with any my man hanging out with, with his friends. You know what? I really don't. I don't have a problem, like, but as long as I know that he's hanging out with his friends, you know? Um, I like a man who's very honest. Like, I like honesty in my relationship, and that's really rare to find. Like, you won't find a man who's very honest with you, you know? And you won't, because it's just like men, they're either scared to, you know, be honest with you because they feel, one, they feel like they don't want to hurt you, like, oh man, she's just too nice and I just don't want to hurt her, or I feel sorry for her. I don't want to hurt her feelings, and guys get it together. Like, girls like guys who are honest, who are upfront and honest. Like, I'm not a girl, I'm a woman, okay? And by now, like, I understand my way of being. Like, I already have my set ways. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a guy and he has to understand that I have my way of being. Like, I like being by myself at times. I don't want to be hanging with no man 24/7 because I'm a woman, and I like to feel like I can go somewhere without that guy having a fit, or is going to feel like he needs to know my every move. Like, I had that when I was with my ex. Like, my ex would tell me, okay, where are you going, who are you going to be with. And I even had one time, like, we went to this casino, and he said to me, like, okay, like, you can't spend this amount of money. I worked for it. Like that kind of shit I don't like. Like, I don't like. I really like, if I have my money and I work for it, and you're asking me for money, like, I hate men who ask me for money. I do not like that. I don't like my ex, he was a bum, and I'm sorry. I have to say it. He was a bum. He would just, like, he wouldn't work, he wouldn't take, like, he wouldn't make the effort to work. And I was young back then, you know? But I don't know. I'm just really like an independent woman. Like, I love my freedom. I love to go out. I love to travel. I love to go out and see different things. I'm not the kind of and I'm definitely not the kind of woman that's going to be, like, if you don't want to be with me, that's okay. Like, that's fine, because I don't force anyone to be with me. Just like I wouldn't want anyone, I wouldn't want to force anyone upon me, like I wouldn't want him to force himself upon me as well. And so, I since I've lived by myself for so long, I feel like, okay, if you leave my life, the door is open. I do not um I don't hold anyone back from being, first of all, who they want to be, and I also don't hold anyone back if they don't want to be with me. If you feel that you no longer want to be with me, the door is open for you to leave. Because why do I want someone that doesn't want me? Why do I want to beg someone to be with me when they don't want to be with me? And that's very true. Hi everyone, how you doing? Oh, I'm beautiful? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Um, I didn't read that last one though. I didn't read that last comment. What did it say? Is your roast beef tightly ziplocked, or is it falling out of the bag? I have no idea what you're talking about, goldfish cracker. Whatever you're talking about, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But thank you for telling me that I'm beautiful. Thank you very much. Compliment is very, it made me blush a little bit. Thank you. But like I was saying before, like, I don't hold anybody back. I don't like that. I don't like forcing anyone to love me. Why would I want to or beg anyone to love me? No. No, I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff because I feel like as a woman who's independent, if you left me the way I went, is your roast beef? I don't know if my roast beef is tightly ziplocked or is it falling out of the bag. I don't know that. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. But anyway, I really don't know what the hell is that. But thank you anyway. um, but like I said, I feel like, oh my goodness, like life is too short. Life is too short, man. It's too short to be like hanging on to things that don't want you anymore. You don't want me? That's okay. Dude, you can move, you can move forward. I'm not going to stop you. Shit, there's plenty of fish out in the sea, and you're not the only fish that I can catch. There are many fishes out there that I can catch. And hey, like I said, I see a lot of women who don't know. Um, like, let's say there are a lot of women who are just jealous. Like I saw this girl on Facebook, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll." Not to me, but I was reading the comment, and she said, "I'll kick your ass because you're with my guy," and I see all these videos about girls fighting for guys, like he's my man and this and that. Yo, no man is your man once he walks out that door. Because the minute that man walks out that door, you don't know what that man is doing. And so I feel personally myself, like if my man comes back from outside, like let's say I will never permit a man to come back if he's like 2 days out and doesn't come back home. No. I won't permit that. There's a lot of women who give men a lot of chances. Like if you do stupid shit, like you're not supposed to be like, okay, like if you're controlling me on how I should be with you, then we have a problem. We have a problem. If you're going out of my house, like let's say right now it's like 7:01, and my guy comes out, okay? Like he's out, okay? And he comes back at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, what does that say to you? Like, really? Come on. Like, really? And he's not telling you where he's going. He tells you, like, okay, like, I'll be back. And he comes back the next day and you receive him back. What do you think that guy was doing? Like, women are really short in intelligence. Like, what do you think that guy was doing? Oh, where were you? It's obvious where he was. He was with another woman. So, that shit about, oh, where were you? And, oh, you were with another woman. And, no, that's not happening with me. That's just not happening. Like, I'm not going to be asking you where you were. You're a grown ass man. You know your responsibilities. You know that you have a woman here in your home. And if you don't know, then you need to, like, go back where you came from. Because I'm not that kind of woman. Like I am very low tolerance on stupidness. And really I am. I'm not that kind of a woman that's going to be telling my man, "Oh, baby, where you were? Why did you come home late?" Or, no. No, you come back, at 2 o'clock in the morning. You come out of my house at 7 o'clock, and you come back at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're not even ringing or calling me or telling me, "Hey, I'm here. I'm gonna be with my friends. I'm gonna hang out." No, you're gonna stay right out there because I don't tolerate shit like that. I am not a woman that wants to be let me see how I can explain it. I don't like to share my man. Okay? I don't like to share my man. So because I don't know what the other woman may have. Not that I'm saying that every woman is the same, but I'm just saying there's some women who, don't take care of themselves. I am not one of those women. I take care of myself. So, you're not going to come in here and you're going to, giving me your PTSD, whatever you call that, the STD. That's what you call it. STD. No, 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 no. The same way you met me, I was clean. I don't need no man to be giving me no STDs and coming back at like 3 o'clock in the morning when you came out of my house at 7 o'clock. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like some women are really short in intelligence. And there are a lot of women out there that are very intelligent, but then there are those that think that they will never find anything better than what they have. Not true. You can find better. You can do better. You can find better. You don't need to stay with someone that doesn't appreciate you. You don't need to be with somebody who doesn't value you as the woman that you are, because you're much more worth than somebody treating you like shit. No. I don't let men treat me like shit because I've already been through that. A woman who's already been through that either remains alone and is scared to have a relationship, and will never trust again, because I've been through that. I've been through abuse. I've been through, you know, through that kind of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. I've been through that. And so, like I can relate to that kind of thing because I've been through it. But if I have somebody that I know, that I can help, you as a woman should respect yourself. And no man is worth you not respecting yourself. No, because it's just like that's like saying, like, putting yourself really low and that man way up there. And in truth, no woman should praise any man unless he treats you like a queen. No woman should praise a man. No woman should praise a man because you're the queen. You're the prize. It's not him, because he hangs around with every woman that he sees. Doesn't make him a man. When a man makes you exclusive to him, and I mean, when he calls you all the time and he makes the effort, and I mean, he treats you very good. I'm not talking about men that treat you good the same, like they treat you good for a certain amount of months and then they start changing. I'm talking about a real man. I'm talking about a man who is, like, Kobe, what are you doing, baby? Don't do that. That wants to, really have a relationship with you, who respects you, who honors you, and honor in a way that no other woman can take your place. Like, we have a confusion in the way that we think. A lot of women think that they can't find a good man, and there are many good men out there. We just don't take the time to look because of fear, or because we believe that there is no longer any good men out there. And there really is a lot of good men out there. But like I said, in order for me to have somebody in my life, first of all, I wouldn't move a man into my apartment. No, because if we're together, we're going to do things together. You know what I mean? Like, if you're telling me, look, Maria, I want to move in with you, and I'm really not the kind of type, like, not everybody's made for marriage. Like, some people, they want the marriage thing and stuff like that. I don't really want the marriage thing. And it's really a personal thing. Like, everybody is different. You know what I mean? Everyone is different. Women do want marriage and they do want a ring on their finger because they feel like they deserve that. They deserve that because, hey, why am I going to give my time to a man who's not going to marry me? You know what I mean? Why am I going to give my all to you when you're not willing to marry me? And I don't understand, how women could remain in a relationship. Like, let's say, for example, women remain in a relationship who actually want marriage, and that man is not, like, he's not giving you the ring. Why are you in that relationship? Like, I see women who want marriage, like, literally, like the man says, we're engaged. Okay, but then we're engaged, but they never get married. And so they remain engaged like for 5 years. What's that? Like, you remain like engaged for 7 years, but the man never proposes to you, but you remain engaged for the 7 years. Is that not telling you something? Like, I would not do something like that.
Because that right there is telling me, okay, I only am engaged to you because you wanted it. You know, like some men, they will engage a woman just to keep her. You know what I mean? Because they are selfish that they don't want that woman to be with another man. But they will not, go and actually make the commitment and get married with her. And then to top it off, there's some men who actually get engaged and then have somebody on the side. You know, that's terrible. Like, I would not wait. If you want to be engaged with me, no, we're not going to be waiting no freaking 7 years for you to decide whether you want to marry me or not. You are going to get married with me within a year. If you don't want to get married with me within a year, then I don't want to be engaged to you. Because what's the whole purpose of being engaged? You get engaged to be married, not get engaged to be deciding whether in 7 years I want to get married. No. In which that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And then another thing that happens too is that this is so ancient. And actually, young girls fall for this. If you don't show me that you love me, then you don't really love me. Girls, I'm talking about young girls. Girls, wake up. I'm old already. Like, I've been through that. Men will not leave you if you say no. And if they do, it's because they never loved you. Okay? And they never respected you. But no man will leave a woman that says no, or a girl that says no. Because if he really cares about you and he really loves you, he'll wait. He will wait. And furthermore, if a man doesn't offer you sex, like offers you sex, like, okay, like, let's say you're dating that guy and he's not offering you any sex, he's not making an attempt to have sex with you, is because, not because he's gay, but because really he cares about and he respects you. I know that sounds very tradition, like very old fashioned, but guess what? It's true. Because when you go to bed with a man, okay, when you go to, the man says to you, like, okay, you really, honey, you're so fine, and let's do it and this and that, and you say no to him, he's like, wow, she really respects herself. You know what I mean? Like, she really respects herself. But like, you go, and the first date you're already in the sack with that guy, he's not gonna respect you. Like, that's known proof right there. Guys do not respect a woman who is very easy and who's, like, will give it up the first night. Doesn't some when I met my ex, it was on the 4th of July. And do you know how long it took him to really have me? And he pursued me. He actually courted me. A year. A year. And then we moved in together. Okay, it didn't work out, but we lasted 16 years together. And it's not because he didn't want to marry me. By the way, this was my ring that he gave me when we were together. And why I'm wearing this ring? I'm just wearing it just to wear it, to tell you the truth, but this is actually the ring that he gave me. He mailed it in to me because he said he didn't really want it. So he sent it to me. But this is actually the ring that he gave me. This is not really diamonds though. This is not a diamond ring, but close enough. But what I'm trying to say is that when a guy puts a ring on it, it's good. It's good to go. But that doesn't secure. In a marriage, you have to do so much stuff in order to, you have to do a lot to maintain a marriage and to keep it alive. Otherwise, it'll if you don't water if you don't water your relationship, if you don't care for your relationship like a flower or like a plant, if you don't nourish your relationship,
then nothing will become of that and it won't grow. So, you need to nourish your relationship. You need to take care of your relationship. You need to take care of it like a flower. You need to take care of it like it's something so delicate that it means something to you, you know? And people today, they don't know how to appreciate the relationship and the person that they're with, you know? If you don't look a certain way, or if you don't, if you're not to their liking, there are men who have had wives for 25 years, then they find themselves a young thing, like they say, and all it is, like, that young thing just wants money. She wants your money or wants your car because you have a car, and you have a nice house, and they just, like, like, run you out of your money. But yet the one that they've had for 25 years, who took care of him, the one who folded his clothes, cooked for him, gave birth to his children, doesn't treat her like a queen, like she deserves. And that's what I mean. Like, just because you've been together for 25 years, doesn't mean that you uh, not nourish your relationship, because you have to nourish every day. You have to take care of your relationship every day. It's like brushing your now this is not into comparison like brushing your teeth, but it's just an example. Like, you bathe yourself, right? You brush your teeth, but it's not, I'm not trying to compare a relationship to that, but that you need to take care of it just like that. You need to take care of your relationship. You need to take care of the person that you're with, and you need to nurture that relationship so that it'll grow into something beautiful. Because once you stop doing those things, like, you have to have, like, dates, like, do the things that you used to do before you got married. Don't stop there. Like, some people will just stop and they will, let themselves go, they'll get fat. How do you keep sex interesting? Oh, how do I keep sex interesting? Okay, I'm not going to take that as an insult. I'm actually going to tell you, how do I keep sex interesting? By doing different stuff, by experimenting with different things, with different um, uh, positions, is what I meant to say. Different positions. You experiment with your partner. There's nothing wrong with you experimenting with different positions with your partner. If you, even with your wife, with your husband, which you're supposed to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. When you experiment with your partner and you want to explore other things and other positions, that's great, because you are bringing something new into the relationship. It's not the same. Yeah, like, yeah, that, I think that's cool. Like, if you want to experiment with your partner, I'm not talking about outside of your relationship, outside of your marriage. I'm talking about if you're married and you want to experiment with something different, like Kama Sutra would be one thing that would be really interesting to do with your partner. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. Like, if you want to experiment with toys and stuff like that, why not? Because you are with your partner. You want to make your relationship interesting, not always the same thing all the time. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. You want to go outside of the box. You want to explore with your partner, and you want different things, like go to different places to also have sex. Like, you could go to different places to have sex with your partner, with your wife, or with your husband. Or, something, I'm not just going to state it like that. With your partner, it can, something, if you're married to a same sex also, that's okay too. That's okay too, because, I'm not just going to say anymore, like, okay, with your husband or with your wife, because today you also have marriages that are same sex marriages. And that's okay too. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you nurture the relationship and have that relationship grow. Okay. Oh yeah, you agree. Yeah, you need to try to keep it. Yeah, you need to keep it fun, because otherwise it's gonna become, like stale, like bread. You know what I mean?
and you need to water your relationship. Like, you need to water it like a plant, or like sometimes we have a flower and we want that flower to grow beautifully, and so we talk to it, we water it, we put it in the sun. Well, a relationship is the same way. We have to treat it delicately so that it can grow, and so that both of you can grow. Because once, like if you hit like 20 years and you find your relationship dull, that's when it becomes really bad. Yeah, let it blossom. Exactly. That's the word that I was looking for. Thank you very much. Blossom. Exactly. Just because you're with your wife or your husband, or your wife or your wife or your husband for 20 years, that doesn't matter. You still need to nurture and make that relationship work so that both of you can grow. You understand? There's some people that just stop also because they have kids. And so the whole thing becomes now about the kids. And so, it's very sad because that shouldn't be like that. Like some people actually stop having sex, and they have children and they stop having sex, or they stop having fun in the relationship and they let themselves go because now they have kids. And kids should not be the excuse because the relationship goes bad. No, kids have nothing to do with it. It's hard to maintain a relationship while having small children, but you can make it fun, because we cannot always blame it on the kids because you have kids, or because, that child takes up your time. Make time. If you really love that person, make the time. If you don't make the time, it's because you don't want that relationship. You don't want that person anymore. Some people lose their passion. Yes, they do. You're absolutely right. They do lose their passion. And the passion should always, I say in my Facebook, I wrote on my Facebook wall today, on my page, I said, find someone that will ignite your flames. No, find someone that will ignite your fire. And that's true. Find someone that will always ignite that fire within you, that passion. And passion doesn't necessarily mean having sex all the time. It can also mean finding passion in doing what you like or love together. Like for example, if you love to scuba dive, okay, well, that's a passion that you love to do. We'll do it together. But there's always going to be something interesting to do. If you find the time to do it. Yeah, if you find the time to do it, if you really, really care about and love that person and you don't want to leave that person, you will make it happen so that it will become better, your relationship. But sometimes, we find the passion outside of our marriages and outside of our relationships. And that is really sad, because what happens is then that we never took the time to really explore on our relationship that we are in now. And so we think that what we have outside our marriage is better than what we have in our current relationship. And that's not true. The only thing is that we haven't explored further, because as you have to understand that when both of you met, like for example, when you were 20 years old, you're not going to have the same likings and the same taste that you had 20 years ago. Okay? So as the years pass by, your taste and your interests change. And so that's why couples need to communicate. When one is not communicating, the other should. It's easy to think that the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah, it's true. It's easy. Yeah, and the thing is that it's you're right about that. And then they don't take the time to like, it's easier because they find that the relationship that they are in now, it's harder. You understand? It's not it's harder because they're not communicating, or for some reason it's blocked. You understand? Like they block themselves from that other, from their partner, and so they don't want to move forward or try at least to make the effort to try to make it work because they find it hard. So when you are outside of, like, let's say you're married and you find something outside of your relationship that looks better than the current one that you have right now, remember that that other relationship that you have outside of the relationship, the current relationship that you have right now, is going to be the same thing. You understand? And if you leave that one, then you would have to also make the effort to also make it work in the other relationship that you have. So either way, try to make it work. Like I always say, like, do you love your partner? Have you ever sat down and really said to yourself, do I really, really love my partner like I used to love them 20 years ago? If you feel the same, that same butterflies, and you feel like your hairs are standing up and your eyes are glistening, and then the passion is still there. And sometimes we need to find that passion so that you can relive it again, what you used to have. So make it a point to always find your dates and your escapes. And you can only try so much until you feel pushed up. That's true. That is very, very true. That, something that is a very true thing, what you're saying about being pushed away. Sometimes we feel that we're not loved, and so we try. I guess I'm assuming that's what you're trying to tell me, is that, sometimes we feel that we're not loved by our partner or by our husband or wife or whatever you have at this very moment. And it's not that we cut communication as the years, we get too comfortable, is what I'm trying to say. We get too comfortable in our own, in our own little cocoon, as we say, and we don't try to communicate. We don't try to talk to our partner, because those things are very important. Communication should be on both sides, not just one. If you see somebody that, if you see your partner trying to make the relationship work and the other one is really not interested in trying to make it work, well, find out why, because you may find your answers and sometimes you may not. Sometimes it's sadly to say, the other one has fallen out of love and the other one, has not. When that happens, it's easy to blame yourself. Yeah, it's easy to blame yourself because you say, well, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? Am I not attractive enough? Am I not doing something right? Am I not, what is it that I'm doing that, is pushing my partner away from me? And it really has nothing to do with you. It's just that sometimes you fell out of love. That's all it is. And that's why they say it's better. I believe in this when they say that sometimes it's better that you, yeah, it's good to love one another, but sometimes it's just a little bit better that one loves more than the other. Because too much love, like let's say if you're not really into that person, it's easy to push that person away and say, or react in a different way. You have time to move on. Yeah, it's time to move on. Unfortunately, it's very hard especially for women, not for men. I don't think it's hard for men to move on, but women, it's hard for women to move on because they feel a strong emotion, or they feel a strong connection to their partner, and so it's hard for them to move on. Yeah, unfortunately, that moving on, it takes time, and for others, they don't want. How can I explain it to you? They don't want to move on. They want to continue to stay thinking that things will change, or that, that things will get better. And is sadly enough, it's just that that other person no longer loves you. Breaking up is hard to do. And it really is. It really is hard to do. But yeah, women, need to learn how to move on, as well as men. That if you're stuck in a relationship that you no longer want, don't let that other person hang. Also, like there are people who just feel sorry and well, I don't want to hurt her, I don't want to hurt him, and so they never say how they truly feel. And so by doing so, that other person has the other partner believe that things are okay when they're really not okay. And so yeah, you're right about that, about moving on. I don't know if that's what you meant, but yeah, sometimes we hold on to things that no longer want us, and so we think that we will never find anything or anything better than what we had. And so yeah, but like I said, if you've been in a relationship, like I was in a relationship for 16 years, but I didn't hold on to that relationship because that relationship was not a good relationship, a very abusive relationship. But on a positive note, it's lovely to see an elderly couple who still have the passion, like my grandmother and my grandfather, who had the passion for more than 50 years, and they died together. Okay, but yeah, they had 10 children, and I don't know how many grandchildren and great grandchildren and great grandchildren. So yeah, but their passion was unlike any other couple because they danced together. They went through ups and downs together. He never left her side, even up until she got very sick. He never left her side. Never. I always remember my grandfather always passing his hands on my grandmother's head and saying how much he loved her. How were you feeling, honey? He would give her kisses. Just those little details that really make it worthwhile to stay with that person. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing when you have that, which is so rare today because couples are so, like they don't want to be with somebody. They don't want to take care of anyone who's sick. Like I see this generation like is so cold, like they don't want anything that has to do with anyone like who's they don't want to take care of anyone who's sick. They don't want to take the time to be with that person in their down, and we talk about all this positiveness, but remember, there's always going to be, a negative, like not in a bad way, but there'll always be a bad time or bad moments. And in those bad moments is when that that person truly loves you. It is now normal to be a single parent. It is. It's very normal to be a single parent today. My sister, a single parent. My mother was a single parent. My niece is a single parent. So yes, you are right about that. It's very easy today to be a single parent because they don't take the time to get to know each other. They don't. You're a single parent. How many children do you have, Danny? How many children do you have? My niece has one child. It's a little girl. And yeah, it's very easy to be a single parent today. It's just very hard to maintain a relationship these days. It really is. I'm a single dad of two. Wow. I'm assuming that your kids are young because you said single parent, so I'm assuming that your kids are still with you. Yeah, my niece is a single parent to one child, and she decided not to have another child because of that. Because it's very hard to support children these days. Yep, a 4-year-old and a 5. Yeah, it's hard. It's not an easy thing. It really is not. And I applaud. I applaud single parents because they have to do the two roles of mother and a father. So it's hard. It's very. I'm not a parent, but and I can't even imagine how those parents feel because not easy, but I wouldn't have it any. That's what my niece says. My niece says the same thing. She wouldn't have it any other way. and that was like a gift that God gave her, because she says maybe her life would have been quite different today if she would not have her daughter. So, children are actually a blessing. And, we don't know where we would be today without them. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know why God put put us in the place that we are today. So, like I said before, we need to appreciate and be blessed in what we have, because like I always wanted to be a parent. So I can't be a mother. Like I can't. Yeah, I do want kids. Yeah, I do want kids. Do I want kids? Of course I want. Yeah, I do want kids, but yeah, like it's too late for me to be a mom, like yeah, man. I think that children are the most beautiful things, the most beautiful creation that anyone can, especially women. We are so lucky that we can create life. We are very lucky that we can create life, and there's some that can't. So, yeah, you can have mine. He's not, oh yeah, we'll bring him here. I live in Vegas. I'll take him. I'll take him. Shoot, that's nothing for me. I'll take care. I'll support him. Yeah, I'll support her or him. I don't care. My grandniece, she's 6 years old. And so yeah, man, I don't mind having a kid. Really, I don't. But yeah, so if you don't want him, I'm here. I volunteer to take care of your child. Yeah, man, I don't mind. That's actually a blessing. Like if God gave me, a child, I don't know what I would do. Like I really wouldn't know what to do. Like it must be a beautiful feeling. Like when I first held my nephew, like I always tell people, that's like the seconds of holding that baby and not knowing their name, and just, in your world with that little creature that you're holding, and a creature in a good way, like that life that you're holding is like wow. It's like your whole insides, and it's like everything at that very second changes, and it's so pure and innocent and so beautiful. um, you can't compare anything to it. You really can't. Yeah, they are amazing. You look at life in a different, yeah, you look at it in a totally different way. And I'm not even a mother, but when I held my nephew, it changed me. Like he changed my whole world. And if those two would not have been in my life, I feel strongly that I wouldn't be here today. But because my sister had my niece and my nephew, my life changed to a better, to a better place. I always think about my niece and my nephew, and I always think about my grandniece. They gave me another another little beautiful little girl that also made me stronger. Actually, and you see things so differently, and you become less selfish. As a matter of fact, you've become less selfish. That's nice to hear. Yeah, like my life would be so different. I wouldn't be here. Actually, I wouldn't be here. I could imagine myself that I would still be living in my mom's house, and not having anything to really look forward to. I'm a decent. Thank you so very much. Thank you. First, I get the compliment of beautiful, and then I'm a decent person. Yeah, I am a decent person, and I'm very. I live in. A homebody. I live by myself. I like to live in my apartment. I don't bother anyone. I'm very simple. I'm not very complicated at all. I try not to be complicated, but I don't think I'm complicated at all. I don't think I'm complicated at all. But yeah, like the my niece and my nephew and my grandniece have made a huge difference in my life, and I wouldn't have my life in any other way. I'm happy. Boyfriend? No, I'm single. I'm single. I don't have no boyfriend. I don't have no boyfriend. Nah, I'm single. Yeah. Are you single? Are you single? There's a big difference between being single and available. Like some people say, I'm single, but they may not be available because they have somebody in mind. You understand? You're yet in the single status, but however,
I'm with someone that maybe I'm interested in, and which I'm still single but not available. So I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Single dad, you have a short memory though. I do have a short memory. You have a short memory. Yeah, I do have a short memory. Yeah, I do. No, actually, I do. I'm very forgetful. I'm not good with names. And you would have to, like, I know your name because your name is easy to remember, like Danny. I mean, like, Lo, come on. Like, really? Your name is really easy to remember, but I'm not really good. I'm not good with names, nor am I good with addresses. I'm not good with that. Like, okay, like you have to tell me things like one or two times in order for it to stick because I forget very easily. So like you could be single, but you may be not available. Okay? So there, that answers. What's your age if you don't mind me asking? I'm in my 50s. No, I don't mind you asking. Yeah, yeah, I'm in my 50s. Like I guys who are young are the ones that usually hit on me, but yeah, I'm not looking for no young thing. Mm-mm. I'm not looking for any young thing because I'm just not. It's just like I've done that too, like young, and I've done the old because my ex was. Thank you very much. Thank you. My ex was 60 years old. He's actually older now. So when I got together with him, he was around his 50s. Um, yeah, if I ever found somebody, I want them between late 40s or around my age, 50. Yeah, because I'm old, dude. Like I'm old. So how old are you? Just to know, and just to get to know you, Danny. Was why are you looking? Thank you very much. Was you keeping it interesting? Absolutely yes. Absolutely. 33. Oh wow, you're only 33 years old. Okay. You're actually Jesus age, 33. But yes, I kept it interesting. I kept it very. Why do you think we were together for 16 years? It was up until the last years, like 4 years, that he became irate and very violent, you know? But why do you think we lasted so long? I mean, yeah, we traveled together a lot, you know? That was the one thing that we had no problem with, us traveling together. But if he had remained nice, I think that we still would have made it to the 20 years, but he became very irate. And it's not to say that I was perfect in the relationship because nobody's perfect. Everybody's everybody has problems in the relationship. Everyone is, you and I are not perfect. We're all human beings. But once it starts like getting physical, like you start hitting one another, because it happens also to men where women become violent with the men and then they think that it's okay to do so. And it's not, because when you lay a hand on a person, it's over with. It's done. Was it drink? Nah, it was no drink. Was it because you drank? No, it wasn't because you drank. No, it wasn't because of any. As a matter of fact, this guy, he used to smoke weed. Okay, and I'm not a. By the way, I'm not a weed. I'm not a weed. I don't smoke weed and nothing like that. And he was doing weed. He I think it had to do more with his age. As you age, some people, well, some people, like, I'm not saying all old people are like that, but I think that he began to have paranoia. And so I think that's what led to him changing a lot. But not all of the people are like that. Like old people, not all of them are like that. It just happened that he was like that. And once he raised his hand at me, not at the first moment that, I left him, but one experience that I had with him is that, I have a glass eye. And so we were in the car together and he just threw me out of the car. But before he threw me out of the car, he smacked me so hard in my face that he shook me like, it was, yeah, weed gets people. Yeah, again, he started getting really paranoid. And so he was a frequent weed smoker. So I think that's what really got to him. And so he smacked me so hard that, his fingers were on my face. Like, the imprint of his fingers were on my face. And I thought that actually he had broken my glass eye. I have a prosthetic eye. And so, yeah, not at the very first moment that he smacked me, I left him because it's very hard to leave a relationship of 16 years and you not having any feelings for that person. It's very, very impossible to do. And some people, yeah, like they say, I'll get up and I'll leave. No, it's not really that. Men who hit women are cowards, yeah. And he was definitely, he was getting to a point where he was really violent, pushing me. That was the beginning. And then he didn't want me to, to communicate with my family. And it became so bad that I went to the hospital. And the doctor told me, what the doctor that examined me, he said, the next time you come here, I may see you in a body bag and not necessarily face to face. So that's when I decided to change. But this, when I talk about abuse, when I'm talking in regards to me, people think that, oh no, well, that happened just that one time. No, 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 no. It happened several times. And so, like I had issues with him, you know, it was a couple of years that I had issues with him. So, it was time to part ways. It was time to separate and move on, like you say. And so I moved here. I'm originally from New York City. I'm not from here. I'm not from Vegas. Yeah, I'm better off on my own, I tell you. That's why I tell a lot of women, when I do my Live with Maria show, I'm basically I want to help people who have experienced, my experience or who are experiencing what I went through, and I tell them, if you are going through a relationship, an abusive one, you need to find help because I was in a shelter and I lost everything. I lost everything. I didn't have not one thing. I was out on the street with just, a cart and my dog, Kobe. I had nothing, nothing. And so the little that I have today, I'm appreciative of it. That it's easy to do? Absolutely not. It's not easy to get up out of a relationship that you've been for 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20 years. And, if you have been in a relationship for 20 years and it's an abusive one, well, you are used to that. You're used to that kind of abuse. You're used to that kind of, pattern or way of living, and so for you to move on and pick yourself up, it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. But I tell you that it is much better than winding up dead in the hands of a man who's abusing you and hitting you and mistreating you. It even is more harder when you have children and you are in an abusive relationship, and not only you are being abused, but also your children. It's a vicious cycle and it's a pattern. It's a pattern because once your kids see that, then you're telling them that it's okay to treat women like that. Not only that, not only women, but men go through it too. So when you have your child that you see that their mother and father are arguing, and it's just like a cycle, and you're actually telling your kids it's okay to treat your husband or your wife or your partner or your girlfriend like this. And it's not. Because when your child grows up and they are seeing that, then that's when they start doing it to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, or whoever is with them at that time. So yeah, and it's a very vicious cycle, and it's one that's very difficult to break. It's not easy to say I'm gonna pick myself up and move with my kids. You know, so true. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's not something that's very easy. Not only that, usually battered women who are in relationships like that usually wind up dead because they go back to the same person that abused them. And not only they wind up dead, but also their child or their children wind up dead. And usually the fucker, sorry to say this, he also winds up killing himself and killing his whole family. So yeah, when we talk about kids, it's very delicate. When I was in a homeless shelter, that was the most thing that you saw in the homeless shelter were women who were abused by their partners and then went back to them because they had children. So it's a way of manipulation to get the women back to coming back to their abusers. So it's a mind game thing, and it's very hard to shake off sometimes. It's very sad because the percentage of domestic violence is very high, and unfortunately, it's one that has like I feel like when a man abuses a woman, he should do the time and for a long time. Unfortunately, it's not like that. Yeah, it's a psychological mind game thing, and it's very damaging, not only for the person who's going through it, but also for their children. And it's something that needs repair uh, by psychiatrists, therapists, and a lot of years of that as well. I saw a lot of women who were beaten badly by their husbands, but when you saw the kids, they're traumatized. They're literally traumatized, and they look at their mom like, Mom, are you going to be okay? It's very sad, very sad. Do I have any hobbies? I love to travel. I love movies. I love dancing. Oh, yeah, I go. I love going to the beach. I don't swim in the beach because I don't know how to swim, but I love the sand. I love the smell of the ocean. I also love the snow. But yeah, I have hobbies, and one of my hobbies is also I do dance. I love to dance, but also I love drawing. I love that. I love to be creative. I like to make jewelry and stuff like that. I like doing all those kinds of things. I like therapeutic stuff. I love to meditate. I love to exercise. I love to do those things, but I like to do low key things, not things that are of exertion. Like low key, like things that are very since I'm a very mellow person, I don't like to exaggerate on anything like exercise and stuff like that. I love to walk, I love those kinds of things. I love movies, like I told you before. I love the beach. I love to travel. I love those kinds of things. So yeah, that's one of my hobbies. Yeah, I want to take a cruise. I also have a bucket list, and that's one of my bucket lists is to go on a cruise. So yeah, I'm originally from New York City, so yeah, so all of those things like the ocean and stuff like that, I love the ocean. But I don't like to swim in the ocean, but I love to see the ocean and the sand. I love the way the ocean sound. I love that. Yeah. So where are you originally from, Danny? Are you from New York City? Next, you're going to tell me that you're from New York City. I'm from Flushing, Queens. Have you ever been to New York? So yeah, I've been long enough in this thing, and yeah, it's almost time for me to go. But Danny, I hope to see you soon. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for asking me questions. I love when my subscribers or my commenters ask me questions. I love it. I love this interactions. I love it. That's cool. What art do you do? In UK. Oh, you from United Kingdom. Hey, hola, United Kingdom. Here from Las Vegas, Nevada. I say to everyone, hello from live from Maria. What kind of art? Like painting. I was going to a class, an art class, okay, like a painting class, but I was not that great in it. I was also doing arts and crafts, like making my own cards, Christmas cards, Halloween cards. I know how to do that. What else was I doing? I was also making jewelry and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. Watercolor. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Watercolor, you're right. That's exactly what I was doing. I'm thinking of going back again to doing that because I really enjoyed that class a lot. And you know what I like too? I like, like the performing arts. I love theater. Like I want to see this theater that's going to be out in October here in Las Vegas, and it's called Dracula. I love scary movies. I am infatuated. I am obsessed with scary movies. I have worked in haunted houses many times. I love haunted houses. I love anything that has to do with horror. I love. I am a fanatic in horror movies. So yeah, I love watercolor. Yeah, I'm not very good. I don't think I'm very good at it. Okay, you a good mover then, Lo. Yeah, I'm a good mover. If you're talking about if I know how to dance, yeah, one music. I like every kind of music that is good. Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like R&B is my favorite. Like, R&B is my favorite kind of music. I like a little bit like hip hop, depending. Okay, I'm not really into hip hop. Like, I don't really know the artists today who do hip hop and stuff like that, like rap and stuff like that. I don't know how to rap, but you know who I've taken a liking to? And I know a lot of people don't like him. I know a lot of people don't like him. It's 6ix9ine, Takashi. Yeah, I like his new song with Nicki Minaj. I don't want to have no friend. I don't want to have no friend, no. Yeah, he's starting to grow on me. I like him a little bit, but that's about the only song that I love is Fifi. So I like him. Not that I'm really crazy about him, but I like that song. I like Cardi B. I like Cardi B. Cardi B is all right. After the shoe incident, I don't know too much, but I still like her. I like her. I like her a lot. Um, what else? What other music do I like? I like country, but I don't like the old country. I like the modern new country music. I like that. Oh my God, I'm gonna do a video. Oh, I'm gonna do a video. Okay? Maybe not tonight. I don't know. But I'm gonna make a video so that you can see my moves, okay? Because with this phone I can't do it. I would have to stand up my phone somewhere in order for you to see my moves. But I think I dance pretty good, you know. For a woman who's 50, I think I do pretty good. I think I'm a pretty good dancer. I'm not a great dancer, but I'm pretty good. Yeah. Are you a good dancer? Okay. Yeah, well, you would have to see how I dance in order for you to say okay. Because then you'll see me and then you say, oh no, she really sucks. She's not that great like she said. But I'm gonna make a video, okay, so that you guys, not only you, Danny, but my other viewers, will see my me dancing. Okay, Oh no! Don't tell me that. You say that you're useless Yo, there's no such thing as a useless dancer. Everybody has their way of dancing. There's some people that are just like they bop their head and they're like, and then there's some dancers that are really good dancers. They have good moves like Michael Jackson moves. But you can't go wrong with dancing. You can't. You cannot go wrong with dancing because as you do it, you have to feel the music, and depending on how you feel the music, that's how you dance. So there really is no instruction of any right way of how to dance, I feel. You just dance to the beat and you dance how you feel. And you dance like nobody's watching you. Even though people are watching you, you dance like there's, like nobody's watching you. You just dance to your natural beat. Yeah, that's right. I would have to see how you dance in order for you to make that kind of statement. Because you might be a very good dancer and not even know it. So, and I may be the worst dancer and I may not even know it. But anyway, so anyway, well, now it's time for me to leave because now it's like, okay, I don't even know how long I've been here, but it's time for me to leave. So I hope that you got, no, you're not a bad dancer. I'm sure that you're not a bad dancer. I hope that everyone has a great evening. Thank you, Danny, for tuning in. Thank you for all your questions. I hope that you stay tuned for next week, next Tuesday, same time, same bat channel, okay? So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And hope to see you soon. Please stay tuned for my Weepa social media. I hope that you guys watch the Pix 11 News with excuse me, Mary Murphy. And yeah, you're very welcome. I'm glad that you I'm glad that you liked it. I hope that I'll see you next time, next Tuesday, okay? Same time, same bat channel. And you take care of yourself, Danny, okay? Bye. Bye, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in.